Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of That's Well with Tegan. And this week I want to continue the conversation around sex and around disabilities and stereotypes between sex and disabilities. And did I even say that right? Stereotypes created around disabled people having sex or having asexuality. Got there eventually. But as I was saying in last week's episode, there were some questions that were left, or not even questions, but I think assumptions and stereotypes around disabled people being sexual, and that's kind of what I wanted to cover this week. I feel like also when I was growing up, I had the same kind of assumptions or questions, and it is mostly because of the way that it's made to be in media or in society that form the way that we question these things. And as I said before, it all kind of starts around the stereotype of disabled people not being considered enough or sexual beings, or I feel like within media it often plays out that like the disabled person is always the second choice, and if you are with someone that has a disability, you're doing it out of kindness and out of like, it's kind of the other person gets like the well done pat on the back, good for you, or someone had to do it, where it's not like that. Like, it is just two people that love each other. One might be different than the other, but they still find a way to make things work, and they adapt and change throughout their lives so that they can work and be together in a relationship as with anyone else. It doesn't really... I think when you consider someone being different than being less than or worth less, it is... I'm not joking, I swear someone just walked past my car and I almost had a heart attack. And there's no one there! But it's okay. But I was saying, when their worth is considered less, is when... My brain's just shot now, because I swear that I just saw someone walk past my car and they were doing that. But, disabled people are considered less worth than the able-bodied person. So when you're dating or in a relationship with a disabled person, the society views that as either you're doing something good and you should be praised and rewarded because you're with someone that is worth less than you because their physical or mental ability is less than yours, which is a stereotype which is so fucked up. And I feel like most disabled people have this then internal ableism when they're growing up, thinking that you're worth less than other people because you don't have the ability to do what other people do. Or it's the thing when you see like disabled actors on TV shows, it's kind of like they give them the little clap because they were the diversity hire or inclusion hire, where actually in reality they're just a really good actor and they're good at their job. They fit the role, they can do it well, and there's nothing more to it. And a lot of roles can be made different being played by someone that has a disability, but the disability isn't always factored in to the role. Like, someone might just hire someone that happens to have a disability, And then because they have a disability, that changes the narrative of the story, because naturally their life is different to what the able-bodied person's life is like. So it's going to be different because everyone has different life experiences and life journeys. So obviously going to be different. But I think when you're thinking about dating and relationships, it's kind of this stereotype again that disabled people are worth less than because they don't fit the stereotypical mold of what someone should within a relationship. And I think, as we all know, the idea of relationships is ever changing. It's a lot more diverse than what it was 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. We now have many sexualities, many genders, many open relationships, many things that it could be. But I feel like the one thing that hasn't really evolved is the stereotype around disabled people being sexual beings as well. And I don't know why, but I think it is because people really struggle to conceptualize the imagery or the thought process behind someone being physically impaired and being sexual. Which I get it, because there's not really much representation out there. There's not really anywhere where you can go and see that. It's quite a area within life which isn't really majorly out there, majorly spoken about, but it does exist. And that was something that, especially when I was younger, I always just had questions about, as I said, because you just don't see it. But anyway, some of the stereotypes that some of you wrote in, and again, if you do want to get involved with any of these videos, my Instagram is thatswabletegan, and I usually put up a story asking for any questions or anything. So make sure that you're following me there if you do want to get involved. But let's go through some of these questions and stereotypes, because I think they are actually really good. And I might end up doing another episode on this later on in life, because I feel like it might be hard to talk about all these things in a short amount of time. So I'm going to try my best to keep it as concise, but I also want to leave room for there to be extra thoughts and extra conversation about these things. So we'll see how we go. But the first one was, it can't be good for you or for your partner, which again is a stupid assumption. I don't know why it couldn't be good for either of you. I think if you're with someone that you love and appreciate and you want to have that next step with them, then why would that not be good? It might be different, it might be not what you expect, it might be not how you predicted it to be, but I don't see how it can't be good. And I think people have this assumption that disabled people might not be able to do what the able-bodied person can, which, yeah, probably is true, but there are many ways of doing things, and as long as you have a good communication with your partner and who you're wanting to get that far with, I feel like as long as you speak about it and you're very open and you're honest about what your worries are, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, how it's going to work, what's going to be most comfortable for you, what they like, what they don't like. It's all about conversation, and I feel like if you're open and honest about it, then what's there not to enjoy? As long as it's all about exploring, it's about finding what works for you. It might not be good all the time, but that's the same for everyone. I'm pretty sure many of my friends have had very bad sex stories, and the same goes for everyone. So I feel like it's kind of a trial and error, but I don't see how it couldn't be good, because it can be. Next one. Can you pleasure your partner. Again, I just think that's to do with communication and trial and error and finding what works for you, finding what works for them. I feel like there are definitely ways in which you can make it work for you both, but it's something that you can't really know how to do until you try it properly. And I feel like everyone's in the same boat. Like, even when you're not disabled, when you're thinking about having sex for the first time, you don't know what you're doing. No one knows what they're doing, no matter how much they might know or watch or think they know. No one actually knows what they're doing. So a lot of it is just trial and error. And it's all to do with who you're with as well. Because if that person that you're with is willing to like take it slow and figure it out with you, then I don't see the issue at all. I just think you have to have. I personally like to have a connection with the person and a good communication, so that if I did feel any type of way, we could talk about it and find a way to make things work. But I also know loads of people that would just go out for a night on the town and like have fun, do whatever they want, and I commend them for it, honestly. But it's kind of up to you and your personal preference of how you like to do things. But again, I think the answer is definitely yes. It's just all about trial and error. And the same as what I said in the previous episode, I think it's also good to understand what you like and what you enjoy before doing it with someone else, because then you know how your body works and how you like to experience things. So that's my advice. Next question. Can you or can't you feel it? I mean, I can't speak for everyone that has a disability, but I've never met anyone that can't feel it. I think that's a pretty... Well, I think maybe if you're paralysed, I don't know, I'm not paralysed, I can't answer that question. But maybe if you're paralysed, you might not be able to feel it, but I think even if you are paralysed, you'll still be able to feel like the endorphins and like the what is it called? The like hormonal response from it. I feel like you'll still be able to feel it in that way. But yeah, I feel like as long as you, I don't even know what I'm saying, but yeah, you can feel it. I mean, I don't speak for everyone that has a disability, but I speak for myself, and I've had no issue so far. So to answer your assumption, yes, you can feel it. But I'd also like to remind you, before we go there, that I am bisexual, so I'm attracted to both women and men. And it is a different experience for different genders, but that's a topic for another day. That's the topic for another day. We'll leave that to the next episode. What is the next question? A lot of these questions are fucking wild. I think when people get the ability to ask whatever they want and they think that they're anonymous, they kind of go a bit wild. But that is what we're here for. We're here. That is the title of this podcast, so I do appreciate the wildness. I will not be answering all of the wildness, but I'm here for it at least. Anyway, the next question was, what do you think makes a good partner or lover? And again, it's kind of like what I'm saying. I'm being a bit of a broken record, but I think it's all about having a good connection with someone that you feel safe with, someone that you feel you can speak to about anything, someone that you have good communication with. And I think someone that allows you to, like, break down that barrier and that wall. A lot of disabled people, we have a mask up the majority of our lives. And it's quite nice to have someone that you can, like, truly relax with and take that mask off and be your true self and not feel like you're being judged for it. That's also very important. You want to feel safe. You want to feel that you're being looked at in a way that isn't judgmental. And again, I don't speak for everyone, but I'm the type of person that I like to know someone for a while. I like to build a relationship, a connection. I don't really do the whole one night stand thing, but some people do, and they find that fine. But I prefer to have an emotional connection, but also someone that I could just talk to and be with without even being intimate as such before we even went there. So I think that's what I would say makes a good partner or lover. But again, I mean, if you're asking me, like, personally, like, what I like in a person, I think I did a episode a few weeks ago. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it was like manifesting my new husband or something. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called now. But I did a episode on, like, what I would like in a partner. So if you are interested, then go watch that. But there is an age range, guys. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people in my comments lately that are a bit over my age range. So I'm just letting you know that there is one, okay? There is one there. Yeah, these other questions, they're a little bit too wild. I mean, I don't even know. I think I'm trying to think what I can actually, because one of the questions was, can you tell me a wild story of my experience? And the only one that I could think of that isn't too rated R is with my disability, if I am ever feeling a lot of pain or a lot of tension in my body, I like to be weighted down. Like, at home I have a weighted blanket that I could put on to, like, relax my body. And obviously, if I'm not at home and I don't have it, then I have to find alternatives. So I did get someone to, like, lie their whole body on top of me so that I can relax. And I found it really funny because I just thought, I mean, I didn't actually think that she would do it, but she was like, I'll do anything that you need to, like, feel better. And I was like, well, I need you to lie on top of me and, like, put your whole body weight on top of me. And she was like, yeah, fine. And she lay on top of me, and then she fell asleep. And then I was like, I mean, I was fine, but then it got to a point where, like, I was struggling to breathe because I've been under there for a little while. And I was like, okay, yeah, you've got to wake up because I need to actually catch my breath now because I've been squashed for a little while. But my body felt amazing afterwards because it was able to relax and actually calm down. So that's probably as much of a wild story you're going to get, because one thing that I do realise is that my family watches this, and I'm not going to go too much into detail. I might, after a few shots, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll do the podcast with a bit of alcohol on me, and then I'll spill all my secrets. But not today at least. But yeah, I hope that kind of answers some more of your questions. Again, I think this is a topic that I think deserves more conversation and more recognition within society. And I think it also goes with not just sex, but being sexual, in the sense that when you see disabled people wearing bikinis or wearing, I don't know, lingerie on social media, those people get a lot of hate, or they get a lot of negative reactions because people think that it shouldn't happen or shouldn't exist. Why are we seeing disabled people being sexual? And I think it is also because they I know that at least when I'm around certain people, because I have a disability, they really think that I have the mental capacity of a 4-year-old. So when they see that image of what they perceive me to be, of being a sexual person, then they're like, what the fuck, this is really wrong. And in a sense, I get that reaction, but then that's also you misjudging me for who I am. That's not you, that's not me, that's not what this is. That is, you created a image or person of me in your head, and that's not who I am. And then because that's not who I am, and I did something different to what you think I am, then it blew your mind. But yeah, that's the one thing that I kind of also want to happen more, is because I love fashion and I love being a little bit sexy, a little bit scandalous, a little bit out there with my outfits. And sometimes people just like not give me my flowers because they are scared, because they didn't know what to say or they didn't know how to react. But all you could say is, girl, you look good. And that's what I want, because I feel like if it was anyone else that didn't have a disability, that's the reaction that they would get. They would get like, girl, you look fire, you look good. But because it's me and because I'm disabled, they're like, ooh, what do we say? We don't know what to say to this. So hopefully more conversation will create more change and more ideas in people's head that not all disabled people are 4-year-olds, and they can be sexual beings, and they can have fun. They can wear a slutty dress. They can fuck who they want. They can go have children. They can raise children. They can look after children. They can go sleep with the guy next week and go sleep with the girl next week. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And that's why I'm here, I guess. To try and raise more awareness about it and speak about it. But yeah, I'm happy in how I ended this podcast. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you do want more conversations like this, they're gonna happen anyway, so you have no choice in the matter. But if you would like to add on what I speak about or get involved, then don't forget to follow me on Instagram and also follow me on YouTube, because I read the comments as well. So if you have any topic conversation that you would like me to talk about, I'm more than happy to. But yeah, that's it for next week, guys. That's it for this week. And I shall see you next week. Have a great week and enjoy the weather while it lasts. Right now it's not raining, but it is fucking freezing cold, so enjoy it while it lasts. And yeah, have a good one. I'll see you. Bye!